And we're back. It's another great day here at the 100 Families Pulaski County Alliance podcast. I guess that's what we're calling it, huh?
Yeah.
I just made that up real quick. See how I did that? Sound good. So we have an interesting story today. We have our guest, Charles Mayo, in the studio. Charles is going to tell us a little bit about who he is and how far he's come. It's like from the streets to treatment to business owner. He owns his own company. So, yeah, Charles, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much
having
for
me.
coming.
I really appreciate
Yes.
it. I really do.
And how we do it here, we just let you flow. We want you to just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Charles Mayo, Little Rock native, or born and raised, if you want to call it. I am the owner of AC Contracting. Been in business about 8 years. You might want to say going on 9.
And what does AC stand for?
AC stands for all construction.
Oh, okay.
So that means you do everything.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Anything to do with a house or commercial building from the roof on down. Yep.
All right.
Yes, yes.
How did you get into contracting? Or just, you know what, let's back up. Because I done jumped way ahead. Tell us about yourself.
From Little Rock. You're from
Yeah.
Little Rock.
I'm from Little Rock. And
You went to school out here? High
yeah,
school?
yeah. I grew up at the first through sixth grade elementary. I'm just gonna go too fast. in the southwest part of town. About sixth grade on up, I moved to John Barrow area. It was thing. I guess I won't say typical because everybody doesn't do it, but I did stray off to another lifestyle before this, in the streets with gangs and drug dealing. But I was
How old were you?
unfortunate. I was fortunate to come away from that.
How old were you at that time?
15,
15.
I think, when all that started. I think about
Wow,
15
that's
years
young.
old. Yeah.
That's young.
15 years old, man. And it was. I mean, to be honest, it was just that the crowd you hang around. And be as it may, we just go through things, because I still have some of those friends today, and they're doing well. I don't blame them, but it just was a tough time. I say for all of us, and I was just.
What year was that? Like you were 15. What was that? 93 or 91? What was that? 15. So you were born in what? 77.
So 77.
15. Come on, math.
And let's say
mathematician.
you can call me. I'll go. 13. It's about 92, 93. Yes.
92, 93?
Yeah.
Yeah.
92, 93. Yes. Which gangbang was
So
real
that
hyped
was
at
a
the time.
real, yeah, that was
Did
a
they have a documentary that came
Yeah.
out?
banging in Little Rock.
Banging in Little
See,
Rock.
they came to our neighborhood. We didn't want to be filmed.
Really?
They went to all the neighborhoods asking, like, hey, we want to do it. We wasn't with it. Because a lot of people went to jail behind that. Yeah.
They filming them. They on HBO. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Wow. So so you're 15. You're in the streets. You hustling, selling drugs, in gangs.
Yeah. And it's a learning thing. I don't know about how this today, but you learn. I started off like shooting dice to make it, to make ends meet. But when that didn't fit out, they taught me, how to hustle, how to sell drugs.
Wow.
And it grows from there. And I don't know, like I said, anybody, unless somebody's giving you something, everything started from scratch. And I think that has actually, like I say, you always could turn a negative into a positive in some type of way. And I think just having to do that, even though it was in a negative sense, I still use that today. Because, for my business, I don't have a loan or anything. I never had a loan.
Wow.
Nothing. So it's all from scratch.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so you went from in the streets and you just knowing the history, knowing your story, you went to being a peer specialist, a counselor. How did you get to that?
Gotcha. So
being
what happened was being in the streets about from 15 to, I think it was 22 when I caught that charge. I was set up by a so-called friend with the police with a lot of drugs. So after that time, I was blessed by a man named Reverend Robinson that helped me go to treatment and they talked to a lot of the prosecutors to help me get off some time, and I went and did treatment for about like 2 years. I think it was 2 years, and but I learned so much in treatment about that, because one of the things I was faced with, I was like, oh, I'm not a drug addict, I don't belong here, and then I kind of humbled myself and applied the 12 steps to living my life off life terms, being addicted to money, being addicted to the lifestyle. Once I applied it, things started to change for me in my life, and I started feeling different and thinking I could make it in a different way.
So you're at a substance abuse treatment center, but just because you weren't on addicted to a substance,
Right.
you were addicted to a lifestyle.
Yes.
And addiction is addiction.
And addiction is addiction,
Yeah.
and it works the same way. It all
Yeah.
takes you
Okay.
backwards from your original purpose. It don't matter
That's
what it is.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
So use 12 steps.
yeah, I used 12 steps, so I was able to get out of there and moved in with my grandmother. Trying to get my life on track. And believe it or not, I started working at Subway, man, for $5.15 an hour. Yeah, it was
This is way back in the day.
Yeah, this is 02, 03 or something.
$5.15.
Yeah,
In 02?
Yeah, $5.15 coming from a life of drug dealing. So the treatment really helped me because I had to humble myself.
Okay, let's take this. You went from, what were you making in the streets selling drugs?
Easy.
What would you say?
Easy $600 to $1,000 a day.
To $5
$5.15 an hour.
And then,
To $50 a day.
wow, you talk about humbling yourself.
Yeah, man.
And you think about it, and some people today, they're like, $15 is not enough.
Right. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You
worked
went to that.
worked at Subway for about, but I was still going to the classes. Mm-hmm. And one day, I think one of the counselors just asked me to do some help around there, just help out. And the first job I got was transporting. I was just a driver, and I would just sit in groups, take people to where they want to go. And then I turned into what they call TOS, treatment operations specialist.
Okay.
It's a little more, and we work a little closer with the clients and stuff like that. And then I continued to work, and they moved me up to counselor in training.
CIT.
And CIT, and then you continue to go to school and stuff like that. And if you want to become a counselor, which I did, I became a certified alcohol and drug abuse counselor. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
So you worked at a couple of treatment centers.
I went to a couple of treatment centers, and it was real fulfilling because I wanted to give back, especially coming from the streets and learning, seeing all the things out there with my friends, and coming into a newfound knowledge of how to live life. I really wanted to share
Tell
it.
everybody.
Yeah,
Tell
right?
the world.
Yeah.
Hey, I got the secret.
Hey man, do you know you can do something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ain't that bad, like I say, it's some humbling things that you got to get past. But I'm just glad I was able to do it. So definitely, I worked at a couple of treatment centers, which, like I said, was very fulfilling. And then my next career was maintenance, which tagged on to the contracting.
Okay. So that's how you started, like getting interested in contract work.
Did you know anything about maintenance?
No.
How did you get that job?
I knew
man?
nothing because I think we moved. Something happened. We moved or something, man. And I just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't. I wasn't feeling. I don't know. They call it a thing called burnout. I think somehow I just burnt out. I was burnt out just on the counseling, I think, and I always had liked engineering.
Okay.
Because I went to school at first before psychology. I went to school for electrical engineering.
Okay.
So I kind of was going back to that. Oh, and then I did have the twins, so I was looking for a little more quicker income.
So you have twins in the home.
I do have twins. I don't have twins.
How old are they?
They're 7 years old right now. Yeah. So they was coming. So I've been in the
Wow.
business about 7 years. So the
He
twins
just looked up.
Yeah.
I've been busy about 7 years.
the twins were coming. So I was trying to do something, but I went to working in maintenance. I met my supervisor was an HVAC technician, and he told me in 2 years I can make pretty good money with HVAC trade. And we continued. I went to school for that and got my license in HVAC, and at the same time still working in apartments. But at the same time working in apartments and going to HVAC school, I'm doing side jobs. I'm doing side work.
That's
after.
where a little money comes in.
Right, right. I'm working my way up to take care of.
So
know.
you're still hustling, but on a good note.
Yeah,
Positive.
Yeah.
He's a positive hustler.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still using that lifestyle, but in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. You still
That
use that
hustle
same
still in
tenacity.
you to-
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I mean, in business, you got to have some type of. You got to have the business. The business you still got to have. It's risk. I mean, you take risk in the streets. You got to take risk in business. You know, physical risk, financial risk. You know, the whole nine. The mental part. You got to be able to withstand a lot of things that's in business in life.
Yeah.
You know, to even stay. You know, to have the fortitude to get up every day and say I'm gonna continue to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially by yourself.
Yeah, because you got to start off with your own hands, like you were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to do the work first.
You know, and nobody believes in you.
Yeah.
You know, nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody was there in the beginning. Nobody was there. So, you know, you have a couple of people. I mean, you know, you bring in a friend or something, you know, on a job, but not like, you know, it's nobody there.
Yeah.
Because you have to build your company. Basically, you're building.
Yeah.
And then, so you have to lay the foundation.
Yeah. Yes.
And
yes.
then
It's your baby.
Yeah.
It's your baby. Yeah. You got to do it. And even now I've learned, you know, because you get out there and you meet other contractors or other people in the business, and you might see what they're doing and the way that they're making it successful, and you be like, oh, I want to adapt to. There's nothing wrong with taking a little piece of that, but you have to still implement it the way it fits you. Because your vision is your vision. I can't do the next contractor's way. And a lot of people try to put
Yeah.
that on you. Man, you could do it like this. Oh, you could do it like that. I
But
could.
you have to have AC Contracting's way of doing it.
If you're going to continue to build AC contracting, because you're going to be working with them here in a minute if you're doing it their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean you're doing it their way.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have your stamp on your own business. It's supposed to be your unique way because that's what
That's
you're
who you
building.
are. Yeah,
What it's a lot of concrete contractors. It's a lot of roofing contractors. What's the difference between all of them?
Yeah.
You know, so
whether it's the customer service,
Quality.
whether it's the quality, right? Whether
How you-
efficiency, you know, so it's different ways each business have their own mark.
yeah,
Right?
oh yeah,
So one of the interesting things that Russell was talking to you about earlier before we began the podcast is about fear. So Russell, you want to get into that, dive into
Yeah,
that
I was
a
just
little bit?
wondering how you silenced that fear and jumped out on faith and then not only that, but stuck with it. I'm pretty sure you had a couple of hiccups along the way.
yeah.
You know?
You know, thinking back, it just came to a point in life, and it was like, I'll be honest with you. I told myself, I said, I can always go back and get a job. I can, you know, I got to take a swing at this. You know, if you really, really want something, you know, and you can do whatever. If people tell you be whatever you want to be. You say you want to be a drug dealer. You don't have to grow up in the hood and say I want to be a drug dealer. You can come from Beverly Hills and go be a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, from anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I said, man, you know, from drug dealing, managing, sandwich maker, working my way up to a manager at Subway, working my way from toss up to counselor in the counseling field. You know, I said, you know, I got to take a swing. You know, and I liked the feeling of helping people when I was in the apartment complex, when I was doing maintenance. It was the same thing with counseling. I was helping people.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of got that same fulfillment. You know, because like I said, I saw a lot of single mothers. I saw a lot of old people on respirators and wheelchairs that couldn't, you know, if they weren't on tax credit apartments, how would they be able to pay for that? A lot of people can't pay for a lot of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
especially in contracting and in construction and trades like
It's
that.
expensive.
Yeah, it could be a little. So I learned that and now I built up resources and I'm still in the competitive business. I can't do it for free, but I could make it to the point where, you know,
You
people
can help people.
Yeah, and still give them some quality work.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So that's to be honest, that was a big thing. And again, I had to feed, want to feed, take care of my responsibilities too.
Right.
So
You have to learn a lot about the work that you do, but
Yes.
you're not like licensed and everything. Like,
no. The whole goal, and see, that's what I was talking about earlier. Knowing what you want to do and not letting anybody turn from you. I knew I wanted to be the owner. I knew my goal wasn't to always put my hands on stuff and people another. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I'm thinking about.
You don't want to put on no sheetrock.
I mean, for the future, I'm thinking about 10, 15 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put up some shoes. I'll do it right now. But
Yeah.
my goal, my mind is
It's
still
to
on not to be doing this. So, and guys used to tell me, "Oh man, you can make more money." I understand that, but they not where I'm at in my mind. Where I
Right.
AC contract. You want to be still doing it, but I don't want to
do this.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
it. I don't want to do it like that. You
Yeah.
know, I just told myself. I mean, this is the conversation I have myself. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I told myself I want to be the next Ball and Shell and Ball, Ball and Shell, whatever.
Ball and- yeah,
Ball
that
and
big-
Shell, the
that big-
Cobalts, the construction company.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's what was in my heart. So a lot of times people looked at me crazy. You know, why you dress like that, man? You ain't going to work. Because I was going to meetings. They was like, why you ain't in your painter's pants?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to paint today, but I'm going to this meeting first. I'm trying to form some contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you have to stay locked in to what you believe and what you want to do, and your avenue. And then you can tell people that, and they'll try to figure out your avenue for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh, if you're gonna do it like that, man, you need
This is
to.
what you need to do.
Yeah, you know, and it may be you right what you're saying, but it might not just fit with where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, on my journey. So I listen to that, but I got to go back to where I am and
Yeah.
where I know I am,
That's
and
good.
stay there. Yeah.
So you stay focused on
Yes,
what it is that
you got to. You got to. Yeah, man. It's a,
So let's talk a little bit about like your support system. What drove you to, or were you just by yourself? I know you talked about the guy that that you worked with that told you about the HVAC. Then I guess the Reverend Robinson at the treatment center. Just were those types of support systems, do you think those helped you along your way, or is it important to have that if somebody's trying to move from a crisis area?
yes, in those particular areas. In those particular areas, everybody they had their importance in those areas because and the reason why
Yeah.
I'm cutting that off, and the reason why I'm saying it like that, because sometimes you try to go back to that same support and it don't
You don't
fit
need
where
them.
you at.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know. You know what I mean? You got to find that other support. So it was Reverend Robinson at the
They
treatment
worked
center.
then.
It was right. It was
Okay.
my supervisor during maintenance. But now, when I moved to contract, when I jumped out there, I was talking to contractors that have been in the business 25 years, successful contractors. Let me make sure I say that, because there's a lot of people, and I'm not knocking anybody, but
Yeah.
you know, again. What does AC contracting want to do? The people office I was going to, this is how I want to look. These are people I'm going to talk to, how they were set up. That's who I'm talking to, getting information from, because that's where I want to see myself as, instead of going over here, even though he in 20 years of business, but I might not want to do it like that. You know, so
Yeah.
I built a support system of contractors that have been in the business 25 years or better, successfully from my point of view. And talk to them, man. And when I came up on a situation, I would call them, ask questions, ask them what they think about it, and just the same thing you would do with somebody, that's kind of mentoring or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, most definitely. And again, the humility.
You made them your mentor.
Yeah. And they didn't shoot me away. I mean, hey, if somebody's, willing to sit down and just listen to what you got to say, man, you gotta take, and all that is momentum. And let me tell you something too. Manifesting where you're going, you're
Yep.
shaping that. You even though I don't have no jobs, me getting up, going to this meeting, talking to this man, is setting something in motion with me. I believe. I can see that now because and I do the same thing. Man, I drove 2 hours one time for an estimate, for a meeting, not even knowing if I was going to get the job or not. The people didn't call me till 6 or 8 months later.
But you got it.
But I got the job,
But had you not gone that 2-hour drive to even get that estimate,
and it was worth going.
It was a big gap. He said it was worth that 2-hour drive.
It was worth that 2-hour drive that day. You know what I mean? So
That's good because some people, I mean, until you have to jump out there. That's that faith.
That's that faith. That's that risk.
some
people ain't willing to take that risk.
And that type of job probably wouldn't be set up for another type of contractor, but that was perfect for me for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How I'm trying to run my. Another person would have been like, "Nah, man, I'm too busy." Because you, again, back to the ownership. Oh, because you got your hands on something, you can't go.
Yeah.
You putting up sheetrock.
Yeah, you put up sheetrock or running wire, whatever you doing.
You got work to do.
I'm working too.
Yeah.
But
at a different level.
Yeah.
I'm set.
You set up your 10-year deal.
Yeah.
Because this is where I want to be.
Right. So I'm setting up jobs like that. Because that's what I want to do. But at the same time, it's grueling, man. I still work 10, 11-hour days, sometimes 13, because I'm checking on stuff. I mean, I come home, get on the computer 2 hours, man. Mm-hmm. It's just true. They say you pay the cost to be the boss, you're going to pay it. That's true, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good story, man.
It putting even the financial risk. You know, in the drug game, you got to put up your own money.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you don't always get good product. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing in business. You put up your own money. Sometimes you don't get good workers. They walk off on you.
Sometimes the price of wood goes up.
The price of wood goes up. Your money your
money's still tied up.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to have something in your gut, man, to get through that. Because that's an easy run for the hills. Like, shoot, I done heard about contractors leave town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has been a really good story. We probably have run out of time.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Production? No.
Yeah. I'm sorry about my phone,
Charles,
man.
yeah, I really thank you. We don't want to tie up on your day because we know you have work to do. You have a 2-hour drive to go get an estimate.
Yeah.
On something. But we thank you so much, and our alliance thanks you because today what we basically have learned, just to recap, how you utilize resources too that was in your community to take you from a life of drug dealing, gang banging, all the way up to your own company. And before we leave today, we would be remiss if we don't tell the Alliance if they need to get in contact with you for any type of contractual work. He will drop 2 hours.
Yeah.
So how can we get in contact with you for AC contracting?
Right now, my number is 901-505-8759. Of course, that's a Memphis number, but we are based in Little Rock, home based in Little Rock. I'm not doing a website right now. You can Google me. I am Google listed. Type in AC contracting. It should pop up. I'm just doing Facebook right now. You can look up also my Facebook account. Just put in AC contracting. My name is Charles Mayo. You can go through my personal page also. It's tagged with each other. So
and you are licensed and bonded.
Licensed, bonded, and insured.
I heard that was important to say.
Oh, yeah.
Licensed, bonded, and insured.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah. Gotta have those things in place.
Yeah. I commend you on just being humble and being able to have that faith, and changing your life around and utilizing the resources that were in your county to get you to where you are now. And I just wish more prosperity on your life and good things for AC contracting. Anything, Russell?
No, that's about it.
All right. Well, again,
thank y'all for having me again. I really do.
Thank you. And we'll see you all again next week.